What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka the Freaking 10, back with the girls. The wonderful, wonderful morning. This is vlog 23, which, as pointed out in the description, goes over chapters 1 and 2. And then I think it was 26 that went over chapter 3, which I'll do once I'm done with that. For my Spanish speaking friends, I was able to go in and turn the subtitles on to Spanish, so you'll see it being translated there. I'd never done that before, but somebody did mention that, and I did turn it on when available. It wasn't on for Power Danny's, but it was able to come on for this one, so I've done that as well. So I'm so excited to hear this and just hear it from them. You know, everybody's kind of said, hey, you know, watch this, and they kind of explain it and this and that, you know, but to hear it from them is always just amazing. So I'll be watching for like the people look at me funny when I talk about watching for the facial expressions, but there's just so much you can read for it. I'll touch on that in a different subject. But let's switch it up. Yeah, I gotta explain that to y'all. I will try not to cut them off. I'll try, if I have a comment, I will stop it and then I'll back it up. So don't worry.
Again!
Oh, Link, baby. Okay.
He doesn't want to be here.
What's up,
Say
guys?
hi.
Link says hi.
Yes. Okay, so in this vlog, we're gonna be talking about our new music.
Yay!
Woo! Okay, so chapter 1 and chapter 2 are out already, and we are so extremely happy that you're liking it.
Yay.
Guys, you have no idea. Like, all your comments touch our heart. Like,
Yeah, we have read
try to
everything,
read them
and,
all.
We're
Because
really
you write
happy
a lot,
that you're
guys.
liking it. In this vlog, we're gonna cover like chapter 1 and chapter 2 because we haven't made a vlog for chapter 1. So
Yes.
basically, this is like new music vlog.
Yeah.
So, let's start with-
Chapter 1,
Yeah, let's start with chapter 1.
which is Crimson Queen.
It's Crimson Queen.
Ugh.
And the one.
And the one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Those are like those songs have cool stories.
Yeah.
Crimson Queen is Danny's song.
Yeah.
Danny wrote the lyrics. It's Danny's song.
That's kind of like it's a nice story because, well, that song was not gonna be on the album.
It's not-
I have been writing that song for like a lot of time, and it was just like my song to kind of just learn how to, how do I say, like, produce something. It's something I like to have fun with. Like, I recorded myself on Pro Tools and then started adding guitar, starting adding voices, and just like figuring out. I did like 7 different demos of that song. And when I finished, I just
she showed it to us.
Showed
and I
it
was like,
do you remember this song?
I was mind blown because I remember when Danny had it like very like a rough
Yeah.
start,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was just mind blown. I really loved the song. And Danny doesn't like usually start songs, so when this one was just like,
so
I'll rewind it back. It's interesting because I'm listening to them, and obviously I've never really heard them talk. You can hear Danny's accent, but if you were to if I was in a conversation with Pau, I wouldn't even have guessed as far as being from Mexico. Now, from their music itself, I would have never guessed. I seriously, when I first saw them in that Enter Sandman, I was like, oh, okay, so they're from, the U.S. somewhere, which is just fascinating to me. Again, speaking it so well, and I don't mean that in a negative way to say that they couldn't, but a lot of the times, it is that second language, and for them it was a second language, but they picked up on it so well to be able to write like that. And then listening to them, I would have never known. Danny, you can hear the accent, but yeah, and of course I haven't heard Ollie say anything other than yay. But I understand completely what Danny's talking about. I can't tell you how many times. So when I was in the band, we were above a garage, an actual mechanic, garage. And I cannot tell you the time that it took to go in and get some of these, because a lot of the times we did it reverse. Um, I definitely had songs that I had written lyric wise that I would give to my brother and he could go put something together for it. But a lot of the times we would be just up there. And this is long before, these production tools were around for consumer use. These are when laptops, had a 20 meg hard drive. I couldn't record anything. Unless I saved it to like a disk. And even then you couldn't save much. But a lot of times we did it different, where they would just start playing something and kind of feeling it out. And then I would just start instantly writing. So it's interesting to hear her kind of, go through the same process. It hasn't changed, but it's interesting she went through the same thing.
Like usually start songs. So when this one was just like,
so like
wow.
When people like it, it makes me extremely happy. Like, you have no idea, because it's kind of like a big stepping stone for me. Like, I am used to writing with them, but
that was
writing
her own.
on my own
so that
is...
Because, writing on your own is it's like a very hard thing, honestly. Yes. I don't even write on my own. I mean, I start songs, but I don't finish it. I basically just have chords, a very basic idea of what I want to do, and I immediately go to my sisters. A lot of people are saying, like, I write all the songs, guys. Seriously. There wouldn't be one single song on this album if the three of us hadn't, like, wrote together. And most of the songs, some of them I started them, but most of them we actually started them and wrote them together.
Yep.
And sure, sometimes I write more lyrics, but it's not that I write all of them. I just write like a little bit more, but that's
especially since like the making of a song has a lot different
of layers.
Exactly,
because maybe I have like 3 chords, but then I take it to them, and then suddenly we have 12 chords, and it's a very long and complicated process.
From the writing to the mixing to the mastering, like everything.
And production wise, it's just a very hard process, and we always do it together. It's always the 3 of us. And a lot of songs, like, if you compare it to 21st Century Blood, a lot of the songs on this album, we actually started them together while we were writing, like, in our basement, and we were just, like, in the instruments, and we started them there. So, and I think you can hear it. You can hear that there's really, like, the 3 of us there in every single song. So, so basically, and then, what's the second song? Oh God!
That's where the name came from, because every time we like
the facial expressions said it all.
Like,
no, basically that song, Danny started it.
Yes.
She had it a song for a long time.
Yeah,
song.
I was just jamming out one.
I'm gonna rewind it. But the look on Pal's face when she said that to Danny, she just went. Watch this look.
That song, Danny started it.
Right.
She had it a song for a
she looks over right here.
Yeah. I was just jamming out one day.
I love it.
That riff, just like came out of nowhere, and I was like, yeah, it was mainly a guitar riff. Like the guitar was gonna start the song, but then we put it onto the bass.
No, but basically that song started off as a very different thing.
It was
extremely
really
different.
Really
and we struggled. That's the song that we struggled most on the album.
We did so many versions of it. Like
we did more. I think we did kind of like 20 versions.
Yeah,
basically,
probably.
It was so many, and
every one of them different lyrics, different melodies, different.
Oh, in the studio we actually finished a ton of lyrics.
Like,
we did it
like the day we recorded.
Oh my God, I'm remembering the old lyrics, and God,
we even did a parody. It was like
Don't know how to keep it stable. Hearts and bagels.
Or bacon, or
Yeah, bacon. We were
it was-
hungry
yeah,
that day.
But basically, that song had 1,000 versions of it,
Yep.
and we barely finished it. And we did have a couple of like tentative
we
names
were
for it.
kind of sick of it.
Yeah,
Like,
we were
were
sick
like,
of it.
So,
At least I was.
you know what?
Let's just keep the name up.
Ugh.
We didn't really want to change it, and
Yes.
We didn't know
And-
And
what.
we didn't found like another name.
Fine.
Sorry.
and after we did a lot of versions for and one of those versions turned out to be the one,
The one.
and
Oh, yeah.
the other one it's the sacrifice.
Yes.
So basically, two songs came out of trying to fix.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
That's
the one.
story.
Okay, the one.
So I'm going to rewind this again. But if you've ever written songs, what they just said is 100% accurate. Because as you're writing one, a concept will come into your head and the story will take a completely different path. And at some point, you do have to draw the line to say that will be another song. Man, no, they are not lying there. 100 million %. You will start writing lyrics and you will say something or sing something and you will go and say to yourself, that is a whole nother song. So I can only imagine when they were doing this concept, right? Because they're not just telling, for me, all right, I wasn't writing concepts. I really the only thing that I ever wrote, quite honestly, that was like that was when I went through my divorce at that time. And so there was a lot of that type of music being put out and lyrics being put out with Standing in the Rain and She's Been Gone Long Enough. With those two, those were two kind of, I guess you could say, were kind of concept songs that dealt with that, but I never really put them together. So I can only imagine as they were going through this story concept and having this in the mind of how many times those split. 100% doesn't shock me at all with that.
Trying to fix.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
That's
the one.
story.
Okay, the one. The one is very. I started the song on the
Yes.
piano.
Piano.
Wait, what? How does it start?
Wait.
Do
Please
anything
don't
to
do
make
anything.
That's the
Yeah,
sacrifice.
that's the sacrifice.
Okay, thank God chapter 2 is released because I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
hate you. Okay, so basically, the one started. Oh, that's a very interesting story actually. The one started was only piano.
Yeah.
It was an only piano piece
Only
that
melody.
I had, and then I had some lyrics. This song was not even gonna be in. I mean, at first it didn't even fit in the story, and then we started adding different aspects to the story. We added like the whole stalker kind of thing. So now that's so now the one could like get in
Yes.
there in the concept. So basically, I had the song on the piano, and I had a different chorus for it. Basically, the chorus for the sacrifice used to be the chorus for the one. But then we started working on the one, and we didn't like the chorus, and we put it like on standby, and we started working on it.
really did like a whole Frankenstein.
Honestly,
of
all
songs.
the songs are like very Frankenstein-ish.
That's how it
But the
happens.
one is a very fun song, and it's one of the few songs where I started like experimenting with chords. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in 21st Century Blood, most of the songs have the same
Chord progression.
the same 4 chords basically. So
And a
when we-
different.
and different keys. So when we started writing this album, we were like, we need to change
Get away from
that
that.
formula. We
Yep.
really
Yeah.
need to get away from that. And since I started,
Although, I mean, it's kind of weird. People tell us, like, it's so weird that each song in 21st Century Blood sounds so different.
but have like the same chord progression,
So
and that's
it's
really
like-
fun. I take pride in that we
Yeah.
actually could make it sound different.
Yeah, we could.
It's like, woo!
we could do it.
But
Okay. I'll have to find the link and maybe I'll put it in the description. But there is a comedy group that talks about the chords and how a lot of your hits play with those same 4 chords. So what they're saying is 100% true. Now I don't know if it was the same chords they were playing, but there is a comedy group. If you search like a comedy song with 4 chords, listen to it. And what they say makes 100% sense because mainstream music does that, so it doesn't shock me.
Okay, so basically the one that it has like modulación.
A modulation.
Modulation.
So
Yeah.
we were really proud of that we could start like incorporating new elements to our music.
Of things we learned. Yeah, we have been applying a lot of like new things we have learned.
And we have learned. Oh, and you remember one song that we went into the studio to change only one phrase?
The one.
It was the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will tell you. Yes,
yeah,
I'm gonna say the lyric. Okay, it was. Is it all in my head? Was it something you said that left my heart explode?
No. That made my heart explode.
Explode. That was the lyric.
Okay,
and I
made
was
my
like,
heart explode was the lyric. But then we returned to Monterey, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, left my heart exposed," and we were like,
wait, it doesn't
"That's
say
not the
that.
lyric." And she was
she's
like, "Oh, I thought that was the lyric," and we were like,
But
"Let's
wait,
change it." I mean,
yes.
that's perfect. So but we were not very happy because we were like, we had to go back and record one phrase. Are you kidding me? Okay,
you,
so
you had to go back for mixing and
Yeah,
stuff.
so-
it
so-
was fine.
So yeah, we
took advantage of that.
aprovechamos. I don't know how to say.
Took advantage.
Took advantage of that. Okay.
So okay, and now this is gonna be a long vlog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So,
oh my god, it's already 9 minutes.
Okay, so when
Chapter 2.
but wait.
Oh.
So we had like this whole concept, right? But it was a very long process to get it like to where it is. At first, it was not even a complete story. It was just about. I was just writing about. You see that I write in characters. I was just basically writing about a character who killed people, which is not nice. I know. I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, I just had like that idea, and then when I took it to Danny and Ellie, we made it so
We
much
shaped
more than
it.
that. Thank God. Thank you for fixing
Yes.
that. And then we showed it to our parents, and my dad was like, you know what? Like, we should totally make this like a novel, you know? So that's why we really like. My dad was like, let's release it like in EPs so people can actually like get the
Every
the story. 'Cause
part of
if
Brilliant
you skip
man.
a song, maybe you don't understand the whole concept. And he was like, yeah, let's release it in chapters and everything. We were just like so psyched about it. And then he was like, oh, you know what? Let's do an artwork for like every
Each
single song. And we're like,
Dad, you're a genius.
hell yeah.
Yep.
So that's basically what we did. And then we took it to Rudy, and then we started like working on it as a team. And then we worked with Gretel, and I mean, everything just worked out fantastically.
Yes.
And we're so glad that everybody's like liking the whole concept of it. Yeah, we're so grateful for Endeavor coming up with that, because imagine if we had just released it like that. No, thank God for releasing it in
We're
chapters.
doing this. I'm sorry.
No, so, and I'm always rewinding it when I do that, but everything works out for a reason, right? And so, yes, her dad is 100% brilliant, or their dad, sorry, is 100% brilliant for thinking that. But at the same time, had they not, I think the way that it was written, as long as it was aligned the same way before that, on the actual release, I think they would have been fine, right? Because for me, from the outside looking in, you know, had y'all not told me that there were chapters to it and about that concept, I still would have gotten the song lyrics, right? But, you know, releasing it that way makes it definitely more intriguing. And it's interesting. I'll make this comment, right? So that I don't make theirs super long. Is that I can see from Powell's personality why she's only 2 weeks away from being a Pisces. When I went and looked, I made a comment to someone the other day of maybe that's why I get the lyrics so well, is because I understand Powell's thinking. Like, as she's saying things, everything she says makes perfect sense. And I noticed that her birthday was like 2.5 weeks before mine. But I forget the one right before Pisces. But because I'm a Pisces and we are very verbose, we're very creative. So everything she's saying is 100% resonating with me.
Oh, imagine if we had just released it like that. No, thank God for releasing it in
We're
chapters.
doing this. I'm sorry that we're leaving you with doubts and like intriguing. What the heck?
We're leaving you
with
cliffhangers.
Yeah, a little bit of mystery here.
Yeah, but that's I think that's fun. You know, it keeps you there.
It's fun for us.
It's brilliant.
Okay, so now chapter 2, and chapter 2 is basically. Should we? Yeah, we should explain the story. I mean,
No, wait.
No. Okay, we won't explain the story then.
Yeah, because
so basically,
we have to be a little more evil.
Okay. So chapter 2 is what songs were they? It's Stalker, Red Hands Never Fade, and The Sacrifice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it out here. I'm gonna explain the name. Okay, so Stalker was a song that I started before I had we had the concept of the whole
album.
I remember
I was gonna say the name.
We changed the chords of that one.
The chords?
Yeah, I remember that we were sitting. Of course we did. Oh my god.
Oh yes, we did the chorus. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like.
Okay, so
it changed like.
I remember that I was in piano class, and
Piano lesson.
I was like we played piano lessons, potato. Okay, so basically, I learned these new chords, which is basically the cliche that goes in the piano at the beginning.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I really liked it, and I wanted to make a song with that. And the chords just sounded like really creepy. So I was like, you know that I'm not good at writing love songs. So basically, I had the mentality of like writing a creepy love song, which is basically what came out. And then after like, I couldn't finish Stalker. So basically, we took it together, and when we started adding the music, it was just so creepy. It was disturbing. It was uncomfortable, which was everything that we
Brilliant.
wanted
The
to be.
guitar feedbacks.
We were
like,
when we were
Yes.
recording that because like our rough drafts,
Like,
our demo.
demos, or like really like have everything.
We
single detail.
put a lot of time into our demos.
We
So-
produce our demos.
So
like,
when we
to
were
100%.
recording the guitars, we were like,
Yeah,
that
those
was
riffs and
really
everything,
cool.
everything just like felt
Actually,
perfect.
those feedbacks are from the demo. Like
Yeah.
we didn't want to change
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
like we were so used to
the
them, and
pianos.
they
Too. I
sounded
remember
so
I was
good.
recording the pianos, and we put like
A reverb.
it was I don't know. We took out a lot of like I don't know. I remember what I did on the piano, but I remember that I made it like wet.
Mm-hmm.
Like the song was wet and like very like distant,
Mhm.
and we just
Reverb.
loved it because it felt reverb. Then I'm sorry. So and it felt like really good, and we were
Reverb.
just like, you know what? Let's just leave it like that.
Reverb.
But thanks to Stalker, like Stalker is a reason that like we were able to
have
incorporate
this-
a lot more songs, and the story got like kind of more like developed. So and after Stalker, it's Red Hands Never Fade. Red Hands Never Fade is actually a really cool story. About like 2-3 years ago, I had like the phrase "Red Hands Never Fade." I did a doodle on a notebook with a hand. That is I do not know how to draw. I'm sorry, but it's a really bad drawing, and it just said "Red Hands Never Fade."
It looks like
And
you
after-
did like a hand in chocolate or something.
Yeah, it was a really bad drawing. But then I came back and I just started like writing some stuff, and I just left it there
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time, and I did not like pick it up again. And then when we were doing like we were trying to pick up songs that could fit here, and then we grabbed and we were like, "Red Hands Never Fade," like sounds like it could fit here.
In this story.
Yeah, and then we started working on it, and it just turned out like really. My favorite like part is like the whole "to tell you to tell me to tell you."
Yeah.
I loved like that's.
And I always got it wrong, like
You
recording.
said like to tell
Tell
you.
you,
No,
to tell me to tell you to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if y'all saw my son's water thing on the bottom of my jug. So what's fascinating to me, right, is as Pao was talking about this, is she wrote so many different things at so many different times. Now, I don't know what the time frame was, right? I haven't heard him necessarily say, you know, oh, I wrote this 6 months ago, and I wrote this one, you know, 3 months after that, or 3 months before that. I haven't heard those details. But again, it's something that 100% happens when you're writing. I've explained out like this, you know, the storytelling piece, and I've written stories, just short stories. But it is very true how you will write one, split it into a second one or into another chapter and say, okay, I'll go deal with that. And then you leave it. And then after extended period of time, you may come back and go, oh, okay, I'll take it in this direction. So all of these are resonating with me so clearly. I'm actually loving this. This is fascinating.
You always like switched it up.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite phrase.
it's gonna
felt
be
so
fun,
proud
right?
of that. That's really cool.
I know.
And
Then
it was that song was really hard to write. I remember that. Do you remember like the really long songwriting sessions that we
Yeah,
had?
we
just
spent, like,
trying
2
to finish
hours.
those lyrics.
Yes.
Because the lyrics for the verses were
Oh
no, but wait, that's
No.
we also before
we
it
have
was
a ton
before.
of songs that we
Okay.
took
It
a
was
long
before
time
we
to
went
write
to
the
LA
lyrics,
and
but
everything.
Red Hands Never Fade was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but that song is and that song is really it's the most tiring song to play because
for you.
it's really fast
for you.
and I'm doing
Yeah.
8 notes on the
Well,
right
my
hand
notes are
all the
also
time.
fast.
And in the bridge, I'm doing 16 notes. So it's basically my right hand is doing this the whole song. And it's so tiring. But it's really fun to play.
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
a really
I was
cool
gonna
song.
say which one was for me, but it's still not.
No, it's still out,
I
so-
was like,
Okay, and the next one is The Sacrifice. Which is really weird to call it The Sacrifice. Because, okay, let me explain a little bit about the background of The Sacrifice. Basically, I remember we were doing, you know the Patreon rewards where we write lyrics?
oh yeah, we were writing
the
I
lyrics
remember.
for like one of the Patreon rewards, and I was listening to my K-pop playlist, and I remember I was.
Oh, Danny was having a party.
Oh,
at the
you
house.
were in a party outside.
Yeah, I was like,
and,
what do I?
and
I didn't remember this.
Ale and I were writing the
Oh,
lyrics.
it was that day.
It was
Yeah,
that day.
it was.
So
Oh,
basically,
wow.
I had my headphones on and I was listening to my K-pop playlist, and a song.
No,
I'm
don't say the
not
name,
gonna
I'm
say the
sorry.
name, but basically a song came on and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And I was just like, felt like really inspired to go to the piano. And basically,
And I was like,
I had, okay. And I started like playing and stuff just like came out like really well. And I had like the verse part 1 was what the first thing that came out. But the second part of the verse,
Please don't.
no, that's the first part. The second part is the that was from another song that I had that we didn't even use. I just grabbed that part. I didn't even show it to you guys. That song was horrible, but that part was good. So
Yeah, I thought that
placed
was like the original.
So I placed it there, and I was like, okay, this is sounding good. And the one more simple question came out when we were with Nick Littlemore.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I remember that he
Right,
gave us some
yeah.
chords. And he was like, write like a very short song with
With
this.
his,
And
yeah.
that's what came out.
And
And Nick
yes.
told us like, whatever came out here in that session, you can use. Like, it's yours. Use it on your songs. So we found out that it fit perfectly there. And we were like, you know what? Let's use that. And the chorus, it was the one from the one. But that chorus actually came out after like the same like K-pop influence, which is really weird because you guys keep telling like, oh my god, I hear this type of influence here, I hear this type of influence, and it's just really funny for me because I mean I look at the list of influences that we like what we were listening to when we were making this album,
You were like,
and it's the extreme opposite. We really like
It
listen
makes no sense because what we do sounds nothing
like what we listen to.
yeah,
I mean
at all.
our
We
album,
grab like tiny things we
that
like.
we like and we try
we
to
make
like
it our own.
and we make it our own. Basically,
Yep.
what we were listening to was a lot of like Japanese rock and a lot of K-pop, and that's
Yes.
and of course, what we always listen to.
and-
Yeah,
what we
like
always
My
listen
Chemical
to.
Romance,
But
Yeah,
stuff like
basically.
that.
Panic at the Disco, and stuff like that.
But it's like but I think that that whole jumble of stuff that we listen to, like it's like we're like a melting pot, and everything just like comes out like a very unique sound at the end.
And so like each one of us has a very unique sound.
So
that
it even
kind of,
makes like even more.
So yeah, well,
So basically, the sacrifice was called Gracias K-pop.
so we always said gracias. It's thank you in
Yeah,
Spanish.
like so we
So-
basically called it Gracias until
And
we
so-
were recording it.
It's
in,
still weird for me to
call it the sacrifice?
It's always like gracias. Like live when we
At least when we
play
practice
live,
it here,
it's
like Ale tells me like
Like
what
what?
song is next, and I say Gracias.
Gracias,
It's
like-
not the sacrifice. It's Gracias. But
So,
the
yeah.
sacrifice has to be like my third favorite song from the album. I love it so much.
Your third favorite song. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just so proud.
Okay.
I used to be so stuck with chords, but those chords, we really just went out of the shell with that.
Yeah.
We have like
Oh,
that
you went.
one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, on the piano, I struggle. I worked a lot on those chords. So I mean that modulation from the pre-chorus to the chorus,
It's
I was just so proud of that. It was just like, oh my god, it's so
The
different.
second chord from the pre-chorus, it's like.
Yeah, because instead of doing it minor and like if we did it minor, it would have stayed it would be diatonic. It would have been inside the scale. But since we did it major, it's no longer in the scale. So it sounds like kind of like dissonant. God, I love that. I was just so proud. And so that's what, and just musically, I love all the riffs.
Oh yeah.
One, I have, like, my favorite part is the pre-chorus. The second pre-chorus.
Yeah, oh yeah, fun fact, the last songs we wrote were Dust to Dust, the one, and the Sacrifice.
And the Sacrifice was also another, like, result of us trying to fix Ugh. Oh
yeah.
my god, the vlog is 21 minutes.
We're so sorry, guys.
Okay, but quick thing. I mean, the last thing I just want to say, it was like, okay, so we had a lot of fun recording this. I recorded the pianos, and it was really fun recording those. But live, that's gonna be fun. I really. But with the piano, you're doing it on the guitar.
Yeah.
And it sounds so cool. I love it. I
It
personally
does.
really like it. And
Thank
then the
you.
one, I mean, we're using a track because it's not like we're gonna stop playing to go and play the piano. Yeah, but we're really, really glad that you're liking it. I hope that when we finish releasing the chapters, we can sit down and explain to you what the story is about.
Yeah.
Which I'm
That's gonna be fun.
really excited about that.
After
Yeah, it's gonna
Lunario.
be fun.
Yeah, after Lunario. And
Although I gotta say, guys, most of you are getting pretty close. Well,
yeah. I
and
mean,
sometimes-
some of these are not very complicated stories.
It's not very
It's a very easy story to
Oh.
follow, honestly.
Before I forget, sorry. We have seen that a lot of you guys have doubts about Nada Mas Records. We are not signed with a label. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like it's our own like
It's our
sello de. I don't know how to say it.
It's our sello de.
Our sello.
Symbol, like our symbol
Oh,
for.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we're- the thing is, like,
release
if
it
you
when we're
Google it, like,
Nothing's
you're not gonna
You're not
find
gonna find
anything.
anything. It's not a record label, guys, don't
yes.
worry.
We're still
It's-
very independent.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
it's just to be independent, but
with a brand.
yeah, basically, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So Nada Mas
So, yeah.
Records, it's still us.
Yeah,
don't worry,
it's
guys.
and the name is from an inside joke that we have
That we
with,
have with
Rudy.
Rudy. So yeah, guys, we're really
Yeah, don't
happy
worry about that.
that you're liking it. Stay tuned because chapter 3, it's not long till it comes out. Don't worry.
Sounds like
So-
just like. I don't know.
Okay, so the next songs are one of my are a few of my favorites, and I think
man.
it's you guys are. I think chapter 3 you're gonna like it a lot. I think it's gonna be one of your favorites.
I get it now.
You're gonna like it.
It's
So
okay. I'm still missing one song though.
this chapter, this block has gone on for way too long. So we're gonna
Yes.
say goodbye, guys. And when chapter 3 comes out, we'll
Tell you all about
yeah.
it.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Okay. That was an absolute blast. It's funny to see them, here and then see kind of like their picture that they're showing. Cause yeah, you can kind of see their face, but it completely different. What's fun is to watch the passion, right? You can tell how much fun they have. That to me was some of the best times is because it was with my oldest brother, who's 11 years older than I am, and I'd go over to his apartment, and he'd pull out the acoustic, and that's how we wrote "She's Been Gone Long Enough." "Crying in the Rain" was one that I'm trying to remember how we wrote that one. I want to say that I had the lyrics first on that one and he put the chords to it. And then we took it to the rest, but a lot of it was just me and him sitting down. So I get that. I mean, that was some of the most fun I've ever had with that, because, you can fit a beat into it, right? When you kind of get the chorus or the chords, you can kind of tie a beat as to, and then decide, okay, do you want it at this speed or at that speed? But for me, and then there was some, like I said, where they switched it. So everything they said made 100% sense to me. It happens. Songs get split. Songs become new, or choruses become new songs. You get inspired from the weirdest thing. A funny story to that, and then I'll end this one because we're at 35 minutes. Someone in my comment section posted and asking if they could write a song. I don't know if they were thinking that I was a part of the warnings communication path or something, because they asked if they could write them a song. And then in the next post, kind of wrote some lyrics. And it's funny because the first words they said were something like, time is waking up at every moment. I literally opened Notepad and wrote pretty much a hip hop type song within like 5 minutes, just based on reading that. And I had to translate it because it was in Spanish. But it was like, the time is waking up at every moment. And I literally took that, and I don't know if I saved it. I'm not gonna, let's see if I have time on here. If I put it in this folder. Okay. I did not put, oh, okay. So here is literally, and you may not be able to see it, but one of my comments in there was, time was waking up every moment. And then they wrote this. And so this is from Google Translate. Literally, I took that starting comment. Time is like waking up at every moment. It's like that watch on your wrist. You got to own it. Time ain't nothing but an illusion. You think you got control, but in the end, it's just confusion. The only thing you do is the best with what you got. It ain't even our decision if we get a tomorrow or not. Take each day one breath at a time, every second. Doesn't mean putting your life out on the line. So literally, okay? Literally, what they say is 100% fact. You will get the oddest thing will hit you, and you run with it. That's just something. That's why I identify with Pau so much, is because she sounds exactly like me in how you write the songs, and you just get something weird and you run with it. Literally, that was a comment in my comment section. So I'll end it there. Let me switch it up. I don't know how much of this, how many people will get to this 35-minute mark or 37-minute mark. This was great. I absolutely loved it. Whether you watch it or you skip through, definitely it's your choice. I appreciate all the support from the Warning Army. These girls, I identify with them so much from that creative aspect and the storytelling and things like that. And that's what I think just keeps drawing me back, as I want to see where they go. Not with, obviously, with just Queen of the Murder Scene, but the rest of their music. That's why I want to finish this one. I haven't decided if I want to go older or newer. I forget the one they said it was the beginning one, or to Error, and finish it, because I think that's the one that had Evolve and Choke on it that I already covered. I haven't decided which path. But I will do the vlog of 26 of where they explain chapter 3 after this. But now, having recorded this, I can get back into the songs, which I've missed dearly, which I will do. So, with that being said, I won't do all of the stuff. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. If you want to support me, buymeacoffee.com/JTMTV. All that stuff. I absolutely adore each and every one of y'all. The Warning Army is made up of some of the most amazing people. These different groups, whether it's Nightwish or Ginger or Sabaton, or The Warning, Poets of the Fall, all of these groups, Winter Sun, all of these groups that I'm covering, the fans are some of the most amazing people, the nicest, the most respectful. If I get something wrong, it's not, hey, dumbass, you missed this. It's, hey, you missed this part. Think about it this way. And it's like, oh, okay. And that's what makes my job in this so rewarding. It's not the views and the likes, those are fun. Those make me feel good. But the connections that I get with y'all in the comment section mean more to me than the rest of it. The rest of it is all the nice to haves. Having y'all in the comment section, giving me compliments, and people like Eric that give me these great reviews and tell me about these things, and how much he enjoys it. And so many of y'all do that. Dan, someone that I'm, I've kind of been conversing with more and more in the comment section. Love the dude. But there's so many people like that. That's the biggest reward for me. That's what I love getting out of this. And so I identify with them. Maybe one day I'll be big enough to where I can interview them. And hell, maybe I'll throw them some lyrics and they can go run with them. But this is a great journey. I am digging this. So with that being said, now I can get to, was it Dull Knives, I think was next after Sinister Smiles. More covers always coming. I'm going to throw those in here and there just as I have time to record them because I want to hear them. I don't want to wait on those. I definitely want to hear them because, again, it just helps me understand them as artists and it just gives me that different view. So, hearing this really, really helped. Now I understand why I get their stuff so much because I'm a lot like Pao, or Pao's a lot like me, I guess, since I'm, 20 years older. So I get them. I get Pao and her writing style and how she gets influenced by just the most random thing. Yep. Okay. Anyway, I love you guys. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'm JTMM. I'm out.